On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, a certain scientific Railgun Season 3 Episode 18, Bust Upper. With a title like that, you'd expect the entire episode to be about them breasts, and well, they are. A certain series is not scared to go there. The entire episode is about two girls on their quest to find the legendary Bust Upper. Seriously, I'm not making this shit up. The entire episode is about tits, like, I mean, last we left off, it was all about this Miyama character and his Esper ability of precognition, and him trying to find that one individual who has the ability to alter fate, and that just so happens to be Kuroko Shirai. Last week's episode went to great length to show how devastating Indian poker can be. You may have knowledge, but without wisdom, the simple wanton desire of having cherry blossoms bloom early can turn out very fucking bad. And as we see in today's episode, Indian poker is just getting started. It's the 2Aru version of Pokemon, and people have to catch them all. Not surprising, someone who is constantly on the cusp of what is cool, what's in, what's new, all the rumors and mythos of Academy City, Satin is giving us a glimpse into her current endeavor, utilizing Indian poker to gain mundane skills. This time it's kendama, next time it seems to be pen spinning. But once again, I must protest, a sense of urgency is needed. These seemingly banal humdrum skills that Satin seems to be acquiring is showcasing a potentially more devious purpose to Indian poker. Yes, teaching someone how to make a cat's cradle is all in good, but what happens when someone decides to take it up a notch and someone captures the dreams of thieves or hackers, or dare I say it, assassins? We saw from last week's episode that this new fad could have deadly consequences. But this episode you don't have to worry about. Like I said in the intro, it's all about them titties. More specifically about two sets of titties. The first pair belonging to Kinahara Sae, the ultra strong girl and member of Item. Yes, an underling of Meltdowner as well as part of Hamazora's harem, seems to be having an issue with her body, especially compared to those of her team who seem to be more developed. Even the lolly-esque body of Frenda seems to send her in a jealous rage. When Hamazora brings her a drink that just happens to be milk, good for growing little girls, he's quick to feel her wrath. Hey, by the way, did you guys hear a rumor about Frenda? I heard she's bisexual. No, wait, I heard she's bisectional. Get it? Bisect? I make jokes because I'm sad inside. Well, with the next day off, this eventually leads us to one of those traders dealing in Indian poker cards. With his merchandise on display and only one other customer, it seems that Kinahara has the pick of the litter. When out of the blue, strolling by comes Mizuka. Now we do get a nice little interaction between the two. Now at this point, the other customer has left. Make a mental note of this little girl though, that we actually never get to see her face. But lo and behold, we get some back and forth, and eventually Mizuka decides to inquire about if he has any S-level cards or S rank, and it turns out he does. It's this legendary Bust Upper. A mysterious scientist has somehow discovered the techniques to increase one bust line. And of course, hearing this, the flat as a board Mizuka and the super undeveloped member of Item begin to fight over this legendary rare card that seems very, very impactful and designed for these two characters in particular. And of course, after a mishap of both unleashing their Esper abilities, the cards have been jumbled and they just decide to go in on all of them. They split the lot and each one has to discern which one is which. But it's actually weird. If you guys want to call this out, Mizuka even goes as far as saying, hey, it was silver. So if you're gonna buy the cards anyways, just chuck all the ones that aren't silver. Like, I don't get it. You knew it was silver, yet you still went through all the other cards. That's dumb. The only reason you bought them is because he no longer knew which ones were which, so he couldn't really sell them. But if you buy them, just chuck the ones aren't silver. I don't know. Anyways, if they decide to chuck them, we wouldn't get all these fucking dreams. Each one is a representation, them bringing in their own flaws to each dream. I mean, the dreams themselves, I don't think were actually, like, some of them were designed for, you know, breast theme, but obviously we see earlier on, some aren't. Obviously, one dream I love to pick out particular is gonna be Kinahara's first one. It is the dream of Tsuchimikado's little sister, and we see the shit that Tsuchimikado puts her through. He is a total fucking siscon and devoting on her, but he's also perverted at the same time. Like, yeah, definitely deserved that ass whooping. Another one is a rando that has been jilted by Congo. A talent agent skipped over this individual to talk to my favorite character. Once again, leaving Mizuka just completely devastated. Another one is Kinahara being a Kanoichi, learning these seductive arts through a mystical scroll that puts an emphasis on yeah, I mean, you could use your legs, but gotta have them titties, resulting in her screaming so much the manager comes by, and her even proclaiming, why not I just beat the shit out of guys into some like dating me or some shit. Like, it's pretty fucking funny. Last dream I want to pick up on is definitely the one where it involves the girl, the telekinesis, who, you know, was a little overconfident. Once again, this one pisses Mizuka off to where now she's yelling, and yeah, they're politely asked to leave. It's time to go. They go to a hotel, I guess, because dorm room's off limits. Well, Kinohara can't take her to the hideout because you know who there is, and she'll probably throw a fit. And by fit, I mean she'll probably attack Railgun. We'll see an all-out battle, and that's just not good for anyone when we're trying to play Indian poker. So they decide to just go sit out by the pool. It's a nice warm day. Everything's looking good. And they begin their, you know, their last batch of cards. And another dream we have to point out is we finally get a look of that main character. This one is Mizuka's dream, and she's bringing up some really weird shit. First, talking about how all-inspiring hope can really be, you know, that want for a brighter future, and then developing into the person you want to become. But then the conversation takes a turn and more a take on how repetitive life in itself can be, using the analogy of defeating one threat and to have another threat pop up. I don't know what this dream is actually alluding towards. Is it about having your hopes and dreams quashed because you couldn't reach your goal and then trying again only to fail again? Is it subliminally trying to put into her mind about why even do something because it's so repetitive and it'll just keep happening like an endless fucking circle? I'm not exactly what she's alluding to, but you can tell that this kind of has affected her in the dream. In the world, she comes out and just get this chibi annoyed face going on. But yeah, I think the conversation we actually witnessed is not really what was, you know, trying to be conveyed. Now at this point, the most important character in this episode has finally shown his face, or her face. The crow, the black crow, has come, swooped the silver card, which they should have fucking just, you know, watched in the first place, all the silvers, and it has taken it away, taken to a place in front of a person, a seemingly random person at first. We've actually witnessed her. Remember that other customer we saw earlier on in the episode? Yeah, before the duel between the level 4 and the level 5. The card is just dropped because the bird was spooked, but I mean, you can see where the story is going with this point. Now, obviously, because the crow has stolen the card, the girls find out that the bust upper was not among them. This is obviously unfortunate for them. It really does piss Kinohara off, but I guess the day was all for naught, for we see another interaction between her and Hamazura. This time he's apologizing for the milk. You know how she earlier insinuated that he must have been talking about her breast size as in growing up? No, it was just about her height because she was complaining about the fake ID he created her. Now don't ask me why, but it was her misinterpretation that led to Hamazura getting one more kick. Can't you just feel all that Hamazura love? Meanwhile, sleeping all day, Mizuka just, you know, has no motivation to go to bed. Obviously at this point though, Kuroko is a little upset. She wanted to spend her nighttime loving with Big Sis, but too bad, so sad. Ending out the episode, we see that Satin has once again picked up one of those just fucking, you know, random skills. This time it once again, like it's pen spinning. Like I said, I will have to admit, both the kendama skill and the pen skill were, you know, pretty well animated. Showing this time off to Uiharu when a buxom body just happens to stroll by. Yes, you know, the girl, the bust upper. Turns out the card was real. Turns out the technique is real, and she is just sporting, I don't know, fucking goddamn cantaloupes at this point. I mean, they're so big that in fact Satin has to draw attention to them. But yeah, everything came full circle in this episode. Nice continuity. Next week we see more interaction between Item and our main group, team Railgun. I don't know what to call them. This time it seems to be focusing on Frenda as well as Satin, and I guess the girl in the pink dress. Yeah. Today's episode, very, very comedic. Had some pretty good animation. Like I said, kendama skill, the pen skill, great continuity to include that one character through basically all 3 points. You know, wanting the card, getting the card, and the aftermath of said card. Not to mention including the actual, you know, the character from the intro, the daughter of death, the kid, as you guys put it. Obviously, I'm making a mental note of that conversation was alluding to something that I couldn't comprehend, but we'll probably understand it later on. Not to mention bringing back Item and Hamazura. And I'm absolutely loving the whole concept of Indian poker, yet I really do see it going tits up. pun totally intended, going forward. I mean, we've seen how devastating it can be and what can happen in the wrong hands or the intended right hands, or yeah. Anyways, love today's episode. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. So with all that being said and more Railgun right around the corner, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.